I've spent over $20,000 on mentorships in the past 2 years after dropping out of college and pursuing internet entrepreneurship. And it has completely changed my life. And in this video, I want to explain to you through my own personal experiences the power of self-investment, specifically in more intimate mentorship containers, and how it's really opened up so many doors for me that I never could have imagined 2 years ago when I started writing online and left college. So before we get into the 5 reasons why investing in mentors has been the greatest decision I've ever made, and I will continue making, I want to outline who the 5 mentors are. So over the past 2 years, I've had 5 direct mentors that I've worked in one-on-one capacities with. So I've worked with Dan Coe, Justin Scott, Danny Miranda, Lee St. John, the Zentrepreneur, and now I'm working with Nicole Ortega. And I'm going to drop the links to their social medias, YouTubes, etc. down below in the description for you to check these people out, because they've had a huge influence on my life. And so let's get into the 5 reasons why paying $20,000 for mentorships has changed my life in the past 2 years. So the first and most subtle reason of why mentorships have been so powerful for me is the ability to intelligently imitate the subtleties that go on behind the scenes of what makes whoever your mentor is so impactful, so powerful, so successful. And so through these mentorships that I've had, I've always paid very close attention to the details of what my mentors do. What are their habits like? What are their days like? How do they set up their different social media accounts? How do they set up their website, their funnels? How do they structure their content? How do they structure their coaching containers and packages? And so by picking up on these very minute details, more than I can even explain or articulate in this video, they're so subtle, you're able to intelligently imitate and then add into your own skill set, combined with your own unique authenticity in a way that catapults you forward. I've heard it put from Alex Hormozy that you're either going to pay with your time or you're either going to pay with your money to learn the things you need to learn to continue to progress. And so by paying with money, in addition to the contents of the mentorship, in addition to the specific knowledge that they're transferring to you more directly, more intimately, and picking up on the subtleties of how they operate, their character, their habits, their traits, which I think is so important to pick up on, you can really shortcut your learning curve by a huge chunk of time. The second piece, and this has been really, really important for me, is the removing of pedestals between you and your mentor. So every mentor that I've had, I had put on a pedestal above me before I signed up for their program. And in some aspects, it's valid, right? I got into the creator economy because of Dan Coe. He's pioneering it. Of course, I'm going to put him on a pedestal. I got into spirituality and meditation because of Danny Miranda. Of course, I'm going to put on a pedestal. But through working with these people in more intimate containers and seeing their humanity, seeing that they are just another expression of you, they are another human being also on the path to figuring things out, it really helps you bring them down to eye level and see them as a peer rather than a superior. And that subtle boost in self-confidence has given me the ability to take action quicker, whether it be launching my own coaching program, posting my own videos, launching a cohort, whatever it may be, because once I brought the mentor off the pedestal and down to eye level and saw, oh, they're just another expression of me, they're just another guy, they're another girl, they're another human, I can do the same thing. And that subtle self-confidence boost has been huge. And at this point now, all of these mentors are on the level of friends, which is really, really cool. And it was because I upped my internal self-image by being in communication with them and realizing we're just people figuring it out, that now we're in a position where we can be friends. The next piece, and this was unexpected, but it's been so cool and I'm so grateful that this has happened, is building off this theme of friendship and removing people from pedestals, is the opportunity to collaborate in a roundabout way. And so with every single one of these mentors that I've had, I've ended up collaborating with them in some capacity. With Danco and Justin Scott, I ended up building Cortex in the early phases with them of writing on their social media. And with Danny, Lee, and Nicole, now there is the possibility of them being co-creators or collaborators within the school that I'm building. And it's just so cool to gain access to these people that I used to put on a pedestal. I realize we're all just friends figuring it out, and we can collaborate and play together and build visions together in a way that's more powerful than building anything myself. Also, with all these people, I've been able to do podcasts with them, hop on Twitter Spaces, etc. And so these collaboration opportunities opened up by getting a foot in the door. Because the thing about mentorships and the people who actually have mentorship programs is you're not going to be able to DM them and just get advice. You're not going to be able to DM them and hop on a call and become friends or hop on a podcast. They're too busy. They have to be focused with their energy. They can't give it to everybody. That is what makes them special. That's what sets them apart. And so if you can find another way in to talk with them, and you show value, you show you're a hard worker, you show you're open-minded, you're playful, you're curious, and you're honestly, at the end of the day, just a cool, normal person. That's what these people want to see. You end up being in a position, if you're creative and innovative, to come up with ideas to collaborate with these people. And so these people who I didn't know 2 years ago, now building projects with them, doing podcasts, potentially hosting retreats, etc. It's just incredible. And these doors opened up because I went in and paid for their mentorship, even though every single time it was like, oh, this hurts, this is hard. The fourth point here is the principle of reciprocity, or the idea or the law of nature that to receive, you must give. I heard it put in a book called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success that money is like a flowing stream of water. And so to keep a stream clean, there has to be a steady flow in and out of energy, of water. And so to keep money clean, it has to stay in circulation. It has to keep moving. If you start hoarding it, you're closing yourself off to the natural flow of reality, and it's not going to come back to you. So to receive, you must give. To have people invest in you, you must invest in yourself. It's all a mirage that there's some separation. The actions that you take internally are just reflected externally. And so if you want more wealth, more abundance, more connections, more opportunities in your life, you have to first give and show the universe that you're willing to invest in yourself so that it comes full circle. The fifth point on why mentorships have been so powerful for me is the idea that I actually got, again, from Alex Hormozy, of the distinction between a season of earning versus a season of learning. And so what he talks about is when you're young and you don't have a lot of skills, you don't have a lot of connections, you don't have a lot of reputation or followers or branding or whatever it is, you are in a season of learning. And so instead of focusing on, okay, what's the highest paying job I can get out of college so I can have $200K a year from a big time consulting or investment banking firm, but I have to give 100 hours a week for this, what if you focused on, instead of earning the most money, what if you focused on learning the most in your youth so that later on you could capitalize on all the specific knowledge, all the authenticity, all of the full self-expression, all the connections that you've made in your youth so that later down the line, then you can capitalize. And so for me right now, especially over the past 2 years, I have been in this season of rapid, intense learning, okay? I am 23 now. I just turned 23 about a month ago, and I started off in this entrepreneurship game about 2 years ago. So I was 21, and I've always thought to myself, okay, especially when I get really clear, sometimes anxiety comes up and I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to make money, right? That's the human condition. It just comes up. But when I'm very clear and I can see the long-term vision and I'm aligned with a higher purpose and I'm patient and I'm aligned with God and I'm trusting, I know that I'm 23. It's okay. I don't have to rush. I'm 21. I don't have to rush. My entire life is ahead of me, right? If you think about in terms of like being an adult, like a sovereign adult, where you're not in college, you don't have a safety net, you don't have parents like supporting you, most people don't become true adults until you're like 22, right? Some people start earlier at 18 if you don't go to college. I've met a lot of these people traveling and they mature much faster. But in terms of like adult years, a 22-year-old fresh out of college is like a baby. It's like a newborn. And so there are other people in the business game, in the entrepreneurship game, in the writing game, whatever game you're in, that have been playing in the game for 20 years. And so to think that you're going to come off the bat and instantly try to compete with somebody who's been playing the game for 20 years and you're just starting, that's just pure ego. That's just pure ignorance. And so if you can recognize and have the humility that, oh, I'm 21, I'm 23, even if you're 25, 28, you still have your life ahead of you, God willing. And so you can adjust this frame in your mind of, fuck, I need to make money now. Like, oh, my friends have this amount of salary. My parents are asking how much I'm making. None of that matters. None of it matters. If you focus on working on yourself, upgrading your self-image, adding skills, adding knowledge, reading a ton of books, taking mentorships, taking courses, investing in yourself, investing in your self-image, and actualizing your highest potential, 5-10 years down the line, money is going to be a byproduct of the person that you've become. And so for me, in these early years, and I'm still recognizing it as the early years, I think it's starting to switch a little bit because I'm really stepping into this power and I'm really stepping into this vision. And this learning season may shift to earning, but I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life. I understand this. But I've really focused on learning. And okay, I make a few $1,000s. Okay, I'm just going to reinvest it. I make $10,000 on this thing. I'm going to reinvest it. I make 40K on this cohort launch. I'm going to reinvest most of this in whatever it is, whether it's travel, whether it's good food, whether it's supplements, whether it's books, whether it's mentorships, courses, etc. Because I know if I zoom out to the grand scheme of life, I'm just starting. Even if I don't make money by the time I'm 28, which it's not happening, like it's already happening. But say theoretically, I've always told myself this. If I don't make any money till I'm 28 and I stay in my parents' home and I keep making videos and I keep making content and I keep building projects, when I'm 28, I'm still not even hitting my quote unquote peak as an entrepreneur, right? Most entrepreneurs, men, etc., peak in their early to mid 30s or 40s or even 50s, right? And so understanding that I'm so early in this game, I'm going to keep investing in myself, even if to the outside it looks crazy, because I know 10 years down the line when I'm 33, I'm going to be much happier with the investments I made in myself early than all the money I tried to make, because the money is empty. The skills and the knowledge and the character, that holds real substance, because that's not going to go anywhere. And so to wrap this point up, understand if you're in a season of learning versus a season of earning. So these are the 5 main reasons of why investing in mentorships has been so powerful for me over the past 2 years, and why I will continue to do it throughout the rest of my life. No matter how much success, money, whatever, there's always another level to deepen your understanding of the world and deepen understanding of yourself, and also accelerate your progress in the external world, which is always just a reflection and a projection of your internal world. And so you can actually see the pattern in my mentorships, which is funny. It started off with high level, surface level business, creator economy, etc., with still a spiritual lens with like Dan Coe and Justin Scott. And it's transitioned into deeper and more spiritual teachers like Danny, Lee, and Nikki. So these are the 5 mentors I've worked with. These are the 5 reasons of why it's been so powerful for me to work with mentors. So with that being said, I want to make you aware of a few different options you have to work with myself in some capacity if it piques your curiosity. So the first option is Conscious Creators. It is a school / online program where we are focusing on teaching creators how to get paid to be the fullest expression of themselves and get paid to self-actualize in a way that raises collective consciousness. Now, this is not going to be for everybody, and so if that vision is not aligned with you, that's okay. This is not for you. This is for the creator, the entrepreneur, the person who is curious, who wants to share their interest online and get paid for it, and get paid literally just by living your life and being yourself. This is for this type of person. The second option is Transcendence. So Transcendence is the private school within conscious creators. So Transcendence, you get access to a weekly call with me for 2 hours, a group call. You get access to a private group chat on Telegram, and you also get access to voice note support with myself 24/7. So we're having like an asynchronous conversation. And the third option for super serious people that are really looking to invest in themselves and take a huge step and a quantum leap is the one-on-one mentorship option. So this is very high ticket. You can apply for both Transcendence and the mentorship program in the link below in the Google form, and you can join Conscious Creators, the school community, for $19.99 a year before January 1st. On January 1st, 2025, that price is going to go to $29.99 a year, so it's going to increase by $1,000, and every subsequent year it will increase by another $1,000. And the reason that we are only offering yearly memberships is because this is really an online school, right? You wouldn't go to college or university for a month and then just leave, right? You would sign up for a year to get the full experience and really commit to a year of rapid growth and rapid personal development and rapid wealth creation and freedom, earning that freedom for yourself, both externally via online business and internally via consciousness and spirituality. And so those are the few options. If you're interested, there's links in the bio. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video.